Hello there. Good evening. How's it going? I uh I may have I didn't mean to start on this view. Yeah, I mean you can see the all sky camera, but didn't mean to actually start on it. I did a brief pre-stream just as a test for supporters, but just uh just as an experiment. Anyhow, and I was messing around with some settings and I didn't get things back where they needed to be. Anyhow, yeah, I think I'm just going to dive right in. I got the two telescopes out, and one thing I noticed just as I was waiting for things to start, I was seeing a few satellites, I think, going through on the all sky camera. Not completely surprising, but they were there. So let's go. I went ahead and I pointed both telescopes. I kind of started the initial startup sequence where basically I have them open themselves up. I went to Deneb, which is what I've been using recently. Now I need to just trigger an autofocus. And I know there's been some code added that allows this to be done in Seestar Alp with or Alp, we'll call it Alp, in Alp with single a single button to kind of get the sequence going. But I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not. I didn't want to experiment on the stream. Hello, Mark Young. How's it going? Uh, Thanks for joining the stream. Okay, so we've got autofocus, and now I'm just going to do the horizontal calibration, and we will be ready to go. One thing I was, oh, that was a mistake. Oh, it didn't prompt me. Good. I didn't actually click it. Start polar line. Okay, good. Confirmed. Confirmed. All right. Yeah. So one thing I had I had done on a number of nights recently is I was doing a mosaic of the Heart Nebula, a 12 panel mosaic, and there were a couple of nights where there were some misfires or I stopped the mosaic early. On average, most of the panels had about 500 frames, so almost an hour, not quite an hour and a half of data. But one of the panels only had 170 frames. So I was thinking of at when the Heart Nebula is up high enough, I was going to uh, kind of spend more time on a couple of the panels. Well, specifically that one, because there are others that have like the mid 300s to 400 frames, but that one particularly with only 170. And I think it's because it was the last panel, and there may have been issues with one night or maybe a couple nights where I just ended it before it was done. And I think another time it tracked into a house and then I ended up having to end it. So, okay. Failed to operate. Let's see that these are actually pointing a sensible direction. The other problem I noticed is the telescopes are too far up in the all sky camera, which maybe I'll fix it later. Maybe really what I could do is just move the all sky camera back a little bit. I might do that a little bit later. But let's see where this stands. Did it complete? So let me go look at live view for one of them. I have the very latest code, so one thing I'm going to do is see what the changes were, but that will be soon. Let's see. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. So if this looks okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to, yeah, this looks good. Great. Great. And let me switch to the other telescope. And if this all looks sensible, then we will move on. Preview frames, it's really dependent on, oh, and by the way, hello, Cosmic Ray. Thanks for joining. It really depends on your network, really. Because, like, right now I have, you see it's updating about 2 seconds, but my preview frame is set to 2 seconds. So let me see if I change it to a shorter interval on this telescope to 500 seconds or 500 milliseconds. Sorry, so half a second. And so theoretically it should, because I spent a little bit of time tuning my Wi-Fi. Well, it's not consistent, but it looks like it's updating once a second or so, sometimes less than a second, maybe a little over a second. But it's really a function of your Wi-Fi. And I think someone had mentioned that on theirs it was refreshing like every 8/10 of a second. It is all theirs took. Let's see. It does lag a little bit on the instruction, on the kind of moving it. I do need to work on that because the mechanism it uses for streaming the video versus, I'm not sure where the delay is there, but it should update. Definitely not once a minute. It should be a lot more frequent than that. Yeah, it always comes down to that, the network. I mean, like I ended up moving my wireless access point like right near where the telescopes are, just on the inside wall. But like if you have it away from the house, that's not always feasible. Let me stop that. Okay, so these are ready to go. Now, yesterday I'd been kind of going through a list of things to image tonight. And let's see. I'm going to start imaging, and then I have some things I wanted to mention. Well, I already mentioned the Heart Nebula that I'm going to, at some point, image that a little bit longer. But one thing I did want to check before we kind of get going. So the Heart Nebula is still relatively low, but I wanted to check on Barnard 369 because that's the dark nebula I've been imaging, and that's already kind of in a point where it's going to start rotating out of view. So let me go ahead and get that started on telescope A. And I want to stop this and go to the schedule and choose file. Let's choose file. What am I choosing? What was it? It was Bernard. Do I even have? I thought I had done that as a dedicated. Let me look at that. Nope. See, I thought I had. We'll have to just kind of make it up again. Okay. So I think I used this star. Yeah, I used this star. So I'll use this star. Go back to this. Don't need a schedule. Image. Get the coordinates from Stellarium. Bernard, 369. Do 45 minutes. I need to see if... Let me see if this actually switches it off. Unfortunately, that button makes a big click on the sound meter, so I need to have a better way of muting. Anyway, sorry about that. And while I'm fiddling around here, if you haven't liked the video already, please feel free to, because that will definitely help. Helps the video, and it helps bring more people to the video over the evening. And yeah, it's just okay, 110 light pollution filter, 45 minutes, started. So I'm going to be running I'm going to run Bernard, which is this dark nebula here. Oh, that was another one actually. I might end up having to stop this real quick because I forgot that I was actually going to look at, oh no, see, there's another one I was going to do, the Seahorse Nebula, but I was going to do a mosaic of that. But I don't know if maybe I'll do it once the moon's more out of the way. What was it? Seahorse. Horse. Let me see. Seahorse. It's Bernard 150. Yeah, let's see how. See, the only big problem is this is barely visible. So, what is that? Oh, that's the fireworks galaxy. I was going to say. That one's kind of a low surface brightness galaxy, but we're going to start with this. Wait, what is this? That looks cool. That looks very cool. Bernard 174. I'm almost tempted to try that first. How much longer is this going to be visible? Yeah, let me try this, actually. Let me stop this one. Okay, it's still polar aligning, so I'll let it finish polar aligning, and then hopefully the next target will be easier. I'll let it do a frame or two, and then I'll stop it. Because that one dark nebula looks interesting. Yeah, so did I mention I'm streaming on Twitch today for the first time in months, dual streaming. It's just kind of an experiment for people who are on Twitch and want to watch a live observing session. So it's, like I say, it's just an experiment. Okay, good. It's doing the dark library, so I'll let that complete because it needs to do that anyway. Do I have the Seestar in equatorial mode? Unfortunately not. Not today. And that's a really good question because really maybe I'll wait until after daylight savings time, because especially the first time I do it, I want to kind of make sure the telescope's aligned, like hands-on, and it's hard to do. I can't do it from up here. And I could do it on one of the off nights, but I feel like after daylight savings time, I was thinking of starting the live streams. I've been trying to start the live streams about an hour after sunset. But now that the sun is setting earlier, I mean, I'm going to keep moving it earlier and earlier, but there's a certain limit. I don't want to move it too early. Like after daylight savings time, like early next month, the sun will be setting here at 5:30, so I could start the live stream at 6:30. I'm not sure I want to do it that early. I was thinking of still starting between 7 and 8. But if I did that, then it would give me more time after dark to kind of dial in the equatorial alignment, especially since I hadn't done it with the Seestar. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. But no, unfortunately, right now I'm not. Have you started running it in equatorial cosmic ray? And one of the things I was thinking of doing, since I have two and I only have one wedge, I could get another wedge, but I'm thinking of running one in equatorial, one in alt azimuth, just as an experiment. Why polar align? Well, if you're running it in equatorial mode, you have to polar align. Or are you talking about this polar align? So let me look at live. Stacked frames 8. All right. Sometimes it's a little slow loading. Okay, so this is the first frame. I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and I am going to go to do this other Bernard object. Okay, yeah. I haven't. I mean, I tried once like months ago, but the problem was I had some problems. I mean, I set it up and really didn't check it, and then I went live, and that telescope was out of commission the whole time. So during the live stream, so I'm gonna go B174. Actually, Bernard 174. Okay. Now I'm gonna do 45 minutes. Do I want to do? Maybe I'll do 150. Do I want to do light pollution filter? I feel like I should not. So I'm not going to use the light pollution filter, and I will get it going, and I'll start it. What? How old was your Seestar? Your Seestar broke? Like, when did you get it? I mean, that's a bummer. And like, how long had you had, and how much had you used it? Wow. Not even a month old. Well, to be fair, usually, I mean, that's kind of how it works. I mean, that's always kind of my rule of thumb with electronics is if it's gonna fail, it always seems to either fails immediately, or like within a short period of time, either immediately to like a month. Then there's another window where it fails that always seems to be like 1 or 2 weeks after the warranty expires. It's like they have a self-destruct mechanism in them. And then other stuff just seems to last almost forever. I mean, potentially, yeah. So I'm kind of trying it out with this. If it starts looking too much of a gradient, I'll probably do it with the light pollution filter. So we'll see. And as far as, yeah, 1 day to return it. Well, at least it failed 1 day before the return window closed. At least there was that. The thing that always bugged me is when I had something fail, like right after the warranty. Like it was a 1 year warranty and it failed at like the 53rd week. I mean, it's happened more than once, and it always every time it bugs me. I'm like, are you kidding me? I think I've also had that with cars where they'd been relatively fine, and then like it was a 3 year warranty or something, and it was like 38th month or something. It had some like catastrophic failure. Okay, well, that's good. At least you have it. At least you're getting a new one. Yeah, Amazon is, I mean, for all of its issues that some people have with it, like for that kind of stuff, we personally have had pretty good luck about like returning stuff, and like we'll drop it off at the like the UPS store. And I want to say well, no, I think that was something else, but like we'll drop it off at like this UPS store that's nearby, and just kind of drop it off, hand them the pieces and say, this is going back to Amazon. Here's the RMA or whatever. And that, for that kind of stuff, it's good. Like no questions asked. But yeah, that's a bummer, major bummer. That it just, I mean, I had a weird thing with one of mine recently where I was trying to, I'd used ALP to reboot it, and it, like the Wi-Fi light went off, but the kind of charging light, the red lights, the red bar graph went on or stayed on. And like the telescope wasn't running. I tried, pushing the button, the power button and holding it. Nothing was happening. I ended up having to pull the battery out of it, and then, waited a few seconds, put it back in, and it was fine. Oh, nice. Ace Hardware. That's cool. That's handy. Very handy. Yeah. Oh, I think I can see some of this dark nebula. Like you can see kind of these voids without stars. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes, but I'm going to let this go for 45 minutes. That is promising that I can see kind of starless areas after just not even 4 minutes of data. So let me look at my list. Yeah, I was definitely wanting to do more time on the Heart Nebula, just a few of the panels, but I'll wait until until it's a little higher in the sky. B150, Seahorse, Bernard, 150. Actually, yeah, this one I really have to get early. Hello, Turf. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Let me see. Where am I here? Oh, I need to quit my OBS. I don't need OBS running. I don't stream from this computer because if I do anything intensive, like, I mean, sometimes ALP takes up more CPU because I'm doing development on it, or I'm running serial and stacking stuff, and it's really, pegging the CPU. I don't want to run the streaming software from here. I'll usually run it on another, I run it through an encoder, But when I did the pre-stream, I did a pre-stream for supporters, and did I did that using OBS. That's why I was running. Okay. I'm just reading some various stuff. Cool. Cool. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right. What else? I was going to probably go for another target here while I'm at it. But what target to image? I'll do the, let's move left. Okay. I had, what did I had? Oh yeah, so I had a list of a few targets. You mentioned Mark Young. You mentioned the which one did you mention? Oh, Rosette. There was a little Rosette nebula, SH2 170, that I'm going to try later. I also am going to look at the Northern Lagoon Nebula. Again, not to be confused. These are the not to be confused with the Rosette Nebula and the Lagoon Nebula. And I'm also I might try the Shrimp Nebula. That's a very faint target, and depending on how late I go, I might do some of the Flaming Star Nebula. Yeah. And there's always the Spider and Fly. Yeah. I got my Seestar kind of in the fall last year, and I was able to actually get some photos of the Rosette Nebula because someone had mentioned it, and I was like, oh, I should check that out. And it's like way too big. And I kind of did a manual mosaic I wasn't using ALP. I mean, ALP, I don't think was even out at that point. I was just using the Seestar app and trying to like point at different quadrants and take photos. And I haven't done anything with those. And I should do, I've since now processed a few mosaics, but I need to go back and revisit those photos. Because yeah, you really need a mosaic for that. But the northern Rosette is not as big. It's kind of like the discount version of the Rosette Nebula. It's the oh yeah, because it's even in the name. It's the little Rosette. Oops. Yeah, see, it's little. Fits in a single frame, and it's right near the question mark nebula. I think that's what this is. Yeah, question mark nebula. Right there, yeah, question mark nebula, NGC 7288. But the little Rosette is over here, and that's SH2 170. And likewise, actually, is this now? Actually, I could start imaging the little Rosette right now. Wait. Okay. Yeah, I should start imaging that right now because it's, well, it's still not in a bad position. So let's do that for the other telescope. We will go to schedule, image, and I'll do SH2 170. And I'll do 150 gain. Why not? And I'll do I want to do, maybe I'll do 40 minutes. And yeah, so this one is the little rosette. Now, where was the Northern Lagoon? Let me look at that. Northern, helps if I could spell lagoon. Oh, I should also try that one. Although look at how small that is. Maybe I'll skip that one. That one's relatively close to the Bubble Nebula, the Northern Lagoon. And here's the Cave Nebula. So it's a relatively small target, but I think it's relatively bright. But I might skip the Northern Lagoon, do that another night. And where is the Shrimp Nebula? I think that one is going to be tricky because it's kind of I think it's a very low surface brightness. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that in a little bit. Since I'm skipping Northern Lagoon. Yeah. Yeah, so one of the things, yeah, has anybody seen the comet recently? I know it's been fading recently. I've been seeing a lot of photos of it. Okay, this is still 3-point aligning. Let me see what's the brightness on this? Claims still 4.1 magnitude. That's not bad. Still kind of naked eye, I guess. Should be a lot. Oh, nice. Speaking of which, imaging A3 right now. And good evening, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so that's good. Supposedly this is 4.1. What's the tail like? Supposedly 2 degrees. And that was as of today. How high up is that now? 20, 23, A3. Let's see. So right after sunset, or I should say an hour after sunset here. Yeah, it's pretty good altitude. Oh, like 25 degrees above the horizon. Not too bad. Gumball. Is it going to be near it's going to be getting near the Gumball cluster. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, 4 minutes. Can't see it with the eyes. Getting worse and worse in Arizona. Yeah. They don't show well. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I need to try to image it one more time. Now that other comet is where is that? What's the state of that one? Comet C2024. This one is actually, it's brightened up. This claims it's 8.6. I remember it was like 11th or 12th magnitude. So tail length is supposedly almost a degree. That's interesting. So where is this in the sky? Let me change to, there should be a way to do them. I don't know if there's a way to do a macro. Maybe there's just a script. But if I could just somehow switch to switch horizons where I go to kind of a neutral horizon instead of my terrible backyard. Okay, so 2024. Okay, so um, let's see. It's kind of, at least where I am, it's kind of weirdly placed. Like the sun rises here just after 7. Yeah, so about 7:30 it rises here. So it's only 10 degrees above the horizon here about 40 minutes after or before sunrise. And that's today, tomorrow. Yeah, so it's getting closer to the sun. I think the thing is, it like right. I mean, yeah, it might be one of those things. Yeah, I don't know if it'll brighten up enough before it goes around the sun, but um, yeah, yeah, I'm not sure. I think that comment will be good after, like, towards the very end of the month. Let me see. Although that looks really close at that point. Actually, that's still in the evening. Oh, does it go from morning to morning? That's interesting, I guess. Yeah, I guess it'll be more of a morning sky thing. Um, yeah, so we'll see how that one goes. Like that's a sun grazer comet, and I'm not 100% sure how that's going to be. Like like some of the comets, they get so intrinsically bright, even when they're relatively close to the sun, it might still be something one can see, but we'll see. Yeah, no match for Hale Bopp. Yeah, and actually, it was funny. I was thinking about this, like Halley's comet or Halley's comet in '86 was like it was easily naked eye visible, and but I mean it wasn't like outrageously bright, but I was looking at it looking at the numbers recently on it, and apparently that was one of its worst appearances in like 2,000 years or something. So the one, I think the next one, which won't be till like 2060 or something like that, is supposed to be good, but that's 2060, which doesn't even seem like a real year. Hello, Jovi. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Yeah, 2060 doesn't seem that's not a real year. um, yeah, it was funny, when I was a kid, I remember watching, reading the book and watching the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, and that just seemed so far away. And now that was like 23 years ago, 2001. Anyway, on that happy note, let me look at where things are where we are here. Whoa, yikes! Oh God. That's let me move back to this, and then we'll see what's going on here. Of course, polar alignment. Okay, and it's imaging, so let's go to the live view and then figure that out. You mean not Hale Bopp, but Haley? Um, so as far as Seestar Alp not starting, let me grab the latest. Let me see if I have the latest. Sorry, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Um, let me see. So we've got reverse a mistaken edit. Um, okay. Hold on a second. Oops. Before we do anything here, let me try something. Let me have a sip of root beer first. Unfortunately, just root beer, not. Let me see how to do this. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Sorry, I'm just. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Head. Let's see. Revision selection, single revisions. Show. Let's see. Show commit range. Let me see something here. Nope. So you said it won't even start. Yeah, root beer. So Cosmic Ray, you said it won't even start. And you ran the update script. Is there a way to see the logs? Let me think about something here. I'm making a note here. Okay. Let me think. Let's see. Yeah, that's really bizarre. Let me go back to this. So on the left, yeah, you can really start seeing the dark nebula here, like this area without stars. So that's cool. And this is the little rosette. Is that right? Yeah. Or is it the northern, which one? Northern Trifid, little rosette. 170 is little rosette. Let's see. That's annoying. Huh. Well, make sure you like and subscribe to the stream. Maybe maybe that'll help. Send a signal, and it might help others as well. And that applies to anybody else who might be watching right now. To like and subscribe to, because that happens sometimes. And I've even heard it on larger streams where it'll just YouTube will just, and I have that too. Like I have a bunch of things that I'm subscribed to, and it's the strangest thing. Like I'll watch one video and it'll start recommending a whole bunch of videos related to that, but then it'll stop recommending like things I'm actually subscribed to, which is very frustrating. Like I actually go into the subscription view now sometimes to just look at videos, but then the problem is I have like a couple of channels I view or that I watch that publish like 10 videos a day. And so it's really hard to go look through my subscriber list. And so I've thought like there must be a different way of you looking for videos like RSS or something, maybe something really old school like that, just where I can look at the people and channels I'm subscribed to, and then actually like because some of them might come up with a video very, like every couple weeks, but I want to watch it because they're like something I watch all the time. So that gets me very frustrated. That's very frustrating. Hello, Wick and Reed. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, I get frustrated with that. But yeah, Cosmic Ray, if you can, it's strange because like I'm theoretically running the latest version of the code, so I'm not 100% sure. I know there were some issues, but I don't think they would have caused it to not run. Yeah, I wouldn't think it would have caused it to not run. Let's see. So these I'm gonna let go for a bit. Okay. That's good. That's good to know. At least it's another data point, Jovi. And your Seestar fixed itself. It's interesting you mentioned that Chris makes that. So like it just started focusing properly because someone else on the stream, Mark Young, actually had his Seestar break. He ended up having to return it. Like he couldn't get anything off of it. Like what did he said it like, yeah, couldn't download data files, wouldn't charge, and yeah, ended up having to return it. I'm on RPi. Can you, this might be something, like if you can send me, I'm trying to think the best way to do this. So you have the latest version, and maybe we can like, yeah, let me think about this. Okay, you're on a Pi 3. Yeah, that was weird. You know what's also weird? You know what is really weird? Like, I watch how many people are on the stream watching live, and it started off pretty slow tonight, but then it just spiked. Like maybe YouTube finally decided to recommend it to some people. I don't know. Very odd. Anyway, if you've just joined, thanks for joining. We're imaging live here with a couple of targets. Yeah. So, hello. Yeah, Seestar is a smart telescope. It's Seestar. It's basically it's a little portable smart telescope, and it has an app. But what we've So, so apparently I just showed up. Somebody was talking about not getting pushed out to people who were subscribed, and now suddenly it's showing up. Uh, but yeah, the Seestar, it's a neat little smart telescope. There's a few other brands out there right now. Dwarf is another one, and I guess the idea that the thing that makes it smart is that it's kind of a one piece. Like it's got the little embedded computer to take photos and the camera, and it's a telescope and a battery, and so you basically turn it on and then use your phone. Uh, that's the way most people use it, and then you can take photos of the sun, the moon, or various deep sky objects, which is what we're doing tonight. And we're using third-party software that it's an open source software that kind of lets you it lets you do kind of some things that the default software doesn't let you do, and access a few like little knobs, some settings that maybe aren't quite available by default. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I mean, the other thing is like these particular targets aren't maybe necessarily the most impressive right now, mostly because I'm trying to image some things that are a little bit more challenging. And it's especially challenging because I live in like central Houston, Texas. So like I have terrible light pollution. So it's really kind of a challenge to image anything here. But this telescope does great. Like I say, you wouldn't tell for some of these two things. This one is it's just been going for a few minutes. This one's actually kind of the opposite of what you expect. It's a dark nebula, so you can kind of see the lack of stars in there, but that's actually it's actually a nebula that just kind of blocks all the light. So it's not something you don't really see it. You can tell it's there by the lack of stars in that area. But yeah, so like there's a few other targets we're gonna image tonight, and we're just starting off on this. The name of the dark nebula, this particular one, is Bernard 174, which Bernard, did I actually pull that up? It's Bernard 174, which, like, if you get enough of an exposure, it looks like that. I don't think it goes by any other name, but that's kind of the nebula. Although this might be reversed, I think. No, it's upside down. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell the orientation because I'm like, this is going to take probably an hour or hours of data to really do this one justice. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's yeah, but yeah, so we'll see what happens with this one. This one is kind of a little fuzzy, but let me see. I was gonna, yeah, and really that was all Cosmic Ray's doing. He was the one who was prodding me to try Dark Nebula. Now the one thing I wanted to do, let's see, I was going to try. So these are kind of the stacked frames. I don't know if I was showing these earlier. Maybe it was on my pre-stream. These were all the different panels from the mosaic I've been doing over the last week or so. So, I mean, again, none of these are processed. These are just kind of out of the telescope. And there's the fish head. One thing what I was going to do tonight is load up all the frames from one of the panels and try to process it. And I had actually saved a few panels. Let's see, which one was the best one? think 32, I had 488, 31, 31, 32, and 43. 31, 32, and 43. So let me look at that. 31, 32, and 43. So let's see if I can find a 43. Actually, I think that was the problem with 43. 43 is the one where I don't have many frames. Yeah, that's the one I need to do more time on. 31 and 32 are what I have. So let's see what 31 and 32 look like. I think one of them might be the fish head. There's 30. No, that's not the fish head. So this is what panel 31 looks like. But that's the one where I have like about 500 frames. Oh, I think I know why. I was wanting ones that were kind of, yeah. So maybe I'll do 32 because this one I have almost 500 frames and it's kind of maybe more the center of it. But I basically wanted to see, I wanted to process all the frames from one panel where I have about the 500 frames level to see if that's enough or if I need to image a lot more for all the panels. Because I definitely need to spend more time on one of the panels, the 43 panel, which only had like a third as many frames. So let me bring up Alp. God, that's so. What you can do is run that system, or what was it? Sudo journal ctl -u Seestar, and see what that does. What kind of output you get from that. So let me bring up Cyril. But yeah, since I'm imaging tonight, I wanted to try to make sure I had enough data from some targets. The other problem I'm running into is I ran out of space on my SSD, so I ended up putting a bunch of this on a network drive, and we will see how the performance is on that. Let's see. Astrophotos, Heart Nebula, panel 32. Okay, lights, move, lights. Okay. Yeah, so it's, I have a few hundred. Let me see, did I move to that directory yet? Okay, cool. So I'll open that. And I don't know how fast this will be going over a network drive. Then the remote network drive is an SSD, but I don't know how fast it's going to be. Let's see. Hope this didn't lock up. Okay. Sorry. Well, at least you got the imaging stuff on the screen. Okay, that was weird. I was thinking about it for a bit. Okay, nice. So that is done. Okay, cool. So I have the directory in the right. I have the, oops, I hate it when it does that. So this is, again, the development version of Cyril. So I have it changed to the directory, and I'm going to run the default script I usually run. I'm not going to do the 5-star version. I'm just going to do the normal pre-processing one. And we'll see how this works. Or if it ends up being way too slow over a network drive. I may have to maybe move this off screen while it's thinking about it. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, still have that. Falcon Air. Let me look at the script. Sorry, let's see. Just making sure nothing is, because that shouldn't be doing that. That's nice. 10 gig network and NVMe. Yeah, my NAS supports 10 gig, but I have to buy. It's a Synology. I need to get the card for it, but I haven't yet because my network is just a gigabit, But I do have plans to update it at some point. I'm just kind of looking through the script just to see why it would have failed. Oh, nice. Picking up some Orionids on the all sky. Huh. That's cool. Some meteors. That reminds me, let me look at my all sky. Like earlier I saw some stuff and it wasn't a shooting star. I think I was just getting some satellites on the all sky. NAS is an atomic pie. Well, you know. Yeah, I mean that if you get 112 megabits, that's all. I mean that's good. I mean my Synology, oh, this finally came back. I had wanted to move this to a off window, but or off camera, but it's a bit slow. So maybe running it off the NAS wasn't the best move. I may have to rethink that. Let me check the SSD and see where I can possibly. Oh, I almost knocked over my assistant here. Let me see what I can do here. Oh, that's cool. Cheap. Oh, okay. That error was from September. Okay. So are there new errors with it? And can you run like, what do you call it? Like if you run, what is it? Status Seestar? Like what does that do? Let's see with this. Okay. This is still chugging along. This I think I might have to just stop because this is having problems. I mean, this is just going to take too long. It was kind of an experiment, but I think until I roll with 10 gig Ethernet, yeah, the moon is bright. See, the one good thing. Oh, this one already finished. So the one good thing is my. I mean, it is bright, and I mean, my sky is already bright to begin with. But this building here will block it for a bit. But if I go back and look at last night, which I didn't do a live stream, but I was doing some imaging and working on code and stuff. Or wait, last night? Yeah, I didn't do a live stream last night. But So you can see, let's see, can I forward? So yeah, so it's going along. This is like 9 p.m. And let's see, 10 p.m. But then if you kind of look towards the bottom there, oh wow, that was a bright plane. If you look towards the bottom, it starts, you'll start seeing it coming up. Like, yeah, there it goes. It's like, yeah. So that, I had debated going longer, but once that kind of was shining down, I mean, the one good thing was, it was really easy to pack up the equipment last night because I didn't even need to turn the porch light on. I could see everything right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was pretty blinding. It's like my eyes, they burn. Okay, so then this one on the left, we need to do something with this telescope because it's just sitting there idle, just stopped. I think the shrimp is probably going to be not interesting. Maybe I haven't done the cocoon. Let me try doing the cocoon. Or I've done it, but not in a few days, so. Yeah, that one's a nice one. Reasonably bright. Yeah, kind of small though. Just trying to find something a little brighter. Helix. Shrimp is going to be faint. Flaming stars after midnight. Spider and fly is, I think, after midnight. I mean, when it becomes visible in my sky, yeah. So sometime after midnight, that'll be visible. The ghost of Cassiopeia is kind of. I'll try the cocoon. Why not? Oops, wrong one. Stop. Okay. So we'll go to this one. Image. We'll go do the cocoon. Cocoon nebula. We'll do a search. Okay. I'm going to do light pollution filter. I'm going to crank up the gain on this. And I'll do it for 45 minutes. And so let's see. Just see where that is. Wait for it to kind of get to the right position. So now I need to see about freeing up some space on that drive so I can hopefully image something. Yeah, okay, that's the drive I want. And let's see, T7 drive, astro photos, and let's do the heart nebula 4x3. Great. And then use the problem is I have these photos I want to develop process, but my laptop's hard drive is like out of space, so I'm trying to find something. Oh, that's interesting. That was, when was that from? That was from a few days ago. Oh, interesting. Let me actually, since I have that up, let me, I want to see, let's see, all right, and oh, always have fun with the with spelling of Cassiopeia. I don't know why. It's that Greek, I guess, or whatever. Cassiopeia. Fit file, grab that. Okay, okay. It's not as fast as it should be, but okay. So what I was looking at is like these files. Like I'd been getting data of the ghost of Cassiopeia, and it was like super noisy. But I think I was doing it on that secondary telescope. But then the other night, I think I did it on the main telescope, and it's like a lot less noisy. And this is just out of telescope. So yeah, I need to process these. Why are these like they're all slightly different positions? Ghost of Cassiopeia. Maybe I'll do that too. If I can find space to process any of this. Let's see. Today is 9, and then do okay. That one finished 2. Okay, so let's find something for this one. Maybe I should do. Maybe I should do the Ghost of Cassiopeia just to try more time on it. Live, and then this one. Schedule, clear. I want to bring Ghost of Cassiopeia. Import. Okay. And that one is like a, what do you call it? It's a 1 hour exposure. So this was just starting. So that'll get a little bit better with time. This one's still just starting. All right. I just dozed off watching the stream. What do you call it? Okay. Hopefully you're tired. One thing, it's funny. Maybe I had actually thought about doing like an ASMR astronomy live streams. Who knows? Who knows how many? Well, you could, yeah. Or message me tomorrow. Like, I'm on Slack. If you, I mean, Cosmic Ray knows this, but for people who haven't joined the Slack server, we do have a Slack server. But yeah, Cosmic Ray, if you want to just message me directly, because I want to kind of get to the bottom of what's causing the issue, because that doesn't seem right. Did I say Slack? Holy crap. Discord. I've been using Slack a lot recently. Had Slack on the brain. My brain was slacking. Something like that. Discord. No, it's you shouldn't have to. I mean, I don't want people to have issues with that, and especially with a Raspberry Pi. I would like to make it as bulletproof as possible so that when something fails, or so that you don't end up in a situation where you can't roll back. And ideally you'd never get to a situation where you have to roll back. So I do want to. You rebooted the Pi. Yeah, I mean, did did that do anything? Is this actually imaging yet? Oh, it's still trying to, it's doing the polar alignment. That's why this one's kind of off in the weeds. Meanwhile, the quest for space, the final frontier. Wait. Okay. Oh, how much space is, maybe that's part of my problem. Oh, that's definitely a big part of my problem. Yikes. Yeah, there's like, just found like 400 gig that I may want to clean up. Let's see. Oh, I don't necessarily want to. Oh, that's not. It's that one that's big. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let us see. Let us clear this up. Okay, that maybe the 3-point the polar alignment actually worked this time. That would be good. Okay. Okay. So let's exit that. Okay. And I'll just kick this off and revisit it once it's cleared off a bit of space. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is going on to the next target. Okay. Well, yeah, let me know. You can ping me in Discord or whatever, and because I'd like to kind of get to the bottom of what happened. So yeah, sorry about that. It's strange because most people, I shouldn't say most people, like I haven't had it. Well, I'm not running it on a Raspberry Pi, but Joe V updated his and it ran. So it would be good to figure out what the failure mode is. And unfortunately, I like unplugged my Pi. Actually, maybe I'll try updating my Pi, see if it causes it to have issues. So I'll just go ahead and power that up. There we go. It's I'll let it boot up for a bit here. And then I'll try it out. I'll try doing an update. It should be I think it's a fairly stock install. I have like a small local change to it. I may revert that and then run the update and see what happens. This is off to an inauspicious start. It already dropped a frame. That's the old one. Okay. So, oh, okay, yeah. So this is the Ghost of Cassiopeia. And that's, I mean, it only has one frame, so it's not going to show much at this point. Okay, yeah, it's doing good. Is it doing that flickering thing? Just watching it to see if it gets dimmer, because if it gets dimmer, I need to change to another screen. Let's see, did it get dimmer? It's up to 5 frames. Well, this will start showing data after a bit, but it takes a while. Oh yeah, I think it's doing its thing. So let me go back to commands and look at this. Yeah, one of the things I did clear off both Seestars because I had run out of space the other night, which was kind of a drag. But now it's better. Let's see. Just working on freeing up some space here while I'm okay. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll let that run for a bit. Meanwhile, what else? Let me go back to the live view. Live view. All right. Gonna have my root beer. I think we had agreed that what is it on maybe on New Year's I'll actually drink actual beer. Just do a multi-hour live stream. That'll be interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah. You can start seeing kind of some of the ghosts there, but it's still faint. Let us see. What now? Oh, and if you haven't liked the video, please like it. Helps the channel out, and it helps signal to YouTube if you want to watch it again, or if to help others find the channel. I need to work on my spiel. My spiel is not very good, but I appreciate it. I do appreciate everybody who's joined tonight. Oh, nice. Sorry, I'm just now looking at something. Okay, cool. Let's see. So I had these notes here. We're doing Ghost of Cassiopeia. So yeah, the comet, the 2023 A3 is fading, but then towards the end of the month, the 2024 S1 might be good. Yeah. Oh yeah, so like one thing I don't know if I had mentioned it earlier, when the time zone change, or when daylight savings time changes, the sun will start setting here around 5:30. Yeah, I think I did mention it in the context of equatorial mode, but once we fall back on daylight savings time, the sun will start setting at 5:30 local time. And I'll probably start the live stream at 7 or 7:30, maybe even 8, which is when it started tonight, US Central Time. And then I'll actually start observing earlier that evening, but I might do it as kind of a either Twitch stream or a supporter stream or something. But it'll be perhaps even more chaotic, especially like as I'm trying to get equatorial mode working. It's supposedly not that complicated, but I haven't, except for once, I haven't tried it with the Seestar. And the complication I have is I can't see Polaris from my backyard. So I have to use my phone and do the alignment that way. So I figured it would be good. I could, set it up, do some initial tests, and that way it's not, yeah. But that'll probably be in a couple of weeks. We're also, we've had a number of clear skies recently, which has been great for observing after having kind of a wet summer. And supposedly we're going into a La Nina pattern, which will make our winters where we are drier. So maybe that will lead to more observing as well. Not great for the plants, but great for astronomy. And it's also like making my eyes dry because it's been a bit dry, and also a lot of pollen too, which isn't helping. Let's see. Still checking the state of the storage. Yeah, I've just got so much. Just trying to clear off some of it. Actually, hold on. Let us see. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Processing. Targets 2. Okay. 1. And that. And that. B. Okay. I think fairly soon I'll be able to delete some stuff on the SSD, and I want to try to process that one panel from the Heart Nebula just to make sure I have enough data in total to get kind of the mosaic that I want. And I also was thinking I might take the data I have for the Ghost of Cassiopeia and see how that's looking. It's a fairly challenging target because it's definitely very ghostly here, and that bright star is kind of problematic. But we will see how it looks once I free up the disk space on the SSD. Let's see. Oh, this was something interesting. Recently, actually, one thing I should check is what other new things I might be missing have been added to Seestar ALP recently. Oh, hey, XS Code just did the 1000th commit. That's awesome. There were like 40 commits to the project back in June or July, something like that. So like the project was started in April. There'd been like 40 commits in the first 2-3 months, but since then it's 1,000. That's mighty impressive. Okay, merge request, readme. One thing that I need to look at, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to look at it on the live stream, is there's now support for the INDI driver, which should allow like right now with Stellarium, you can pull coordinates out of Stellarium into Alp, but with the Indy driver, we should be able to control the telescope from Stellarium through Alp. So I want to try that out. I'm going to try that out maybe in a little bit. And I'll do it on the Pi now that I've powered it up. I want to see how it's doing. Start sequence below horizon. Yeah, there was some stuff related to equatorial mode that I won't be able to. There's a new updated search for comets to display selection list when more than one item. That's one thing I haven't tried. Basically, before, if you would search for a comet, it would only populate like the first one. So now it actually lets you search. Let's go ahead, and I haven't actually tried this, so let's try it live. Comet 2023 or C 2023. Search. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. So actually, if I know it's A something and I don't know which A, that didn't work. Actually, let me see. Still, that's cool. So I was able to, and if I go C 2024 and do a search, yeah, nice. So you get a nice pop-up, and I believe this pop-up will get added for other objects. I don't think it's in place yet. But one thing I thought was interesting, I had looked up Ida, the asteroid Ida, 243 Ida, and I wanted to try to image it, and it wasn't in the database that was downloaded. And the guy who did it, or who added this feature, he was saying that the database mostly stuck to asteroids that were brighter, and I guess that one didn't make the cut, or for whatever reason. But yeah, that might change, but we'll see. The other thing was, that I found interesting with these minor planets. So you have to get like updated orbital parameters for solar system objects. So planets, not so much, but definitely for comets, because they're very active bodies that can affect their orbit. But asteroids, I knew there were different effects because they can interact gravitationally with other objects. And one thing I hadn't thought about that I thought it was very interesting, I'd run across this, it's the Yarkovsky effect, where basically when an object is rotating, so like Earth rotates, and the hottest point of the day isn't at solar noon, it's just a bit after solar noon, because of the way the thermal photons, I guess, like the sunlight will hit an object and the photons will get radiated back out into space, or into the atmosphere in the case of Earth. But I guess where things balance is usually like around 2 p.m., solar 2 p.m. Well, this Yarkovsky effect is basically if the object's in orbit, and if it's a small object like an asteroid, like a small asteroid, if it's in orbit and it's rotating, because those photons that are hitting it from the sun are getting radiated back out into space, it causes a net force. It causes a net force yeah. So if the object is rotating kind of prograde, it causes a net force opposite to the direction, or slightly opposite of the direction of the orbit, like down this way, which will apply a force that will cause the orbit to slowly spiral out over time, just from photon thermal effects. Likewise, if it's rotating prograde or retrograde, the force will go the other direction, or like against the orbit, slightly against the orbit direction, which will actually cause the object to spiral towards the sun. And there's the effect based on its rotation, and then there's also a seasonal effect based on its orbit when it's closer to the sun or whatever. And then the effects depend on how quickly the object rotates. But it was like interesting because you think like, nah, like that can't be a big enough of an effect to really affect, or enough of a force to affect it in any measurable way on an asteroid. But they measured it in 91 through 2023 on this asteroid, which is it's almost a kilometer, like it's like a kilometer wide asteroid. Like it's not tiny. And over a 12-year period, the asteroid drifted 15 kilometers from where it should have been in its orbit from just this effect. which to me is kind of crazy, that just the effect of photons can move on the orbit of an asteroid. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. Random thing I ran across. Yeah. 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 This is very random. That's why it's random Erewhon. I come up with random things, but I thought it was interesting. Like, and I'm sure that's only one of the reasons, but it's certainly a reason why you can't, like, asteroid coordinates have to be updated because of gravitational interactions with other things in the solar system and thermal effects. Yeah. Crazy. And plus, if it's something where there's frozen material on it and it has some outgassing, I'm sure that would affect its orbit as well. But yeah, very random stuff. Let's see how the drive's doing. The other thing I was gonna check. Yeah, that's not gonna work, so I'm just gonna stop that. Let's go log into this Raspberry Pi and see what we can do with this. Oops. If you ask for time, well, you start with the decay of cesium. You know, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm not sure how I ended up in this situation, but I had run across like an on chip atomic clock, and unfortunately they were like sold out of them, but I don't know that it was cesium, but whatever it was like a miniaturized atomic clock, not as accurate as the bigger ones, but still, you know, a little bit, probably orders of magnitude more accurate than like the RTC clocks that are built into a lot of computers. But I don't even know how I ended up, first off, running across it, and second off, wanting to buy one. But luckily for my wallet, I guess it was an abstract thing since they were sold out. But you know, I mean, like you can get a super accurate signal from GPS. So I don't know why I was looking at miniature atomic clocks, but I was. um, yeah, that, but see, you know, you get the miniature atomic clock and you get to like this high level of accuracy, but then you're having to like do all these extra computations based on like gravitational flux and stuff. Um, you know, it's just complicated. Or you could just like use a watch. It's the and call it a day. um, yeah, yeah. So it's one of those. I have a habit of going down rabbit holes sometimes, and if it hasn't been apparent. Okay, so I'm logged into the Raspberry Pi, and I have a local change. I have these. Let me remove these. I have no idea what these are, but I'm going to save them. And okay. Let me change that. Actually, I could just get stash it. Okay. Okay. It's clean. Oh, wait. Your branch is behind Origin Master. Why is it behind? Well, let me run the update script and see what happens. Yeah. 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 We won't talk about reactors. That it's yeah, no. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to run the update and see what happens. Well, first, before I do that, let me confirm that I have a running instance here. And it's not plugged into Ethernet today, so it's not going to be as fast. But it does have both telescopes running, so that's encouraging. So let me run the update and see what happens. Okay. Oh, it's downloading this indie stuff. Because that's like, and this is a Pi 4. No, this is a Pi 5. Not that it should matter. Like Pi 4 versus 5 shouldn't matter. And Jovi was running it on a Pi 3, so while we're waiting for it to compile, if you haven't liked the video, you want to hear random things about thermal effects on asteroid orbits and while we're live observing and rebuilding software to do more observing, then like the video. Like, you know, what is it? Your vote helps support more randomness. Maybe that I need to come up with a better catch line with that, but I think maybe something along those lines. Yeah, north of the Mason-Dixon line. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what? Well, that's not encouraging. So let's see what happened here. Nothing like failed to start. You have failed. Good day, sir. Wait, repeated too quickly. System CTL status Seestar. Okay, it has failed. I wonder if is this the kind of error you're having, Jovi, Cosmic Ray? Because if it is, then well, at least I've reproduced it. I have a candy bar I'm trying to eat, and I'm trying to not make too much of the opening noise on the stream because that's just kind of obnoxious. Let's see what the logs are here. While I'm troubleshooting this, let's at least look at some pretty nebula. 12 millisecond. Now, to be fair, there has been a discussion that's been started about how we can fix this kind of issue. I mean, it's one thing if the person, if you've checked out the code locally and you're running it kind of manually, but if you're using the update script through the Raspberry Pi, or if you're running the Windows executable, like that should be more robust. So that it was a discussion that has an active discussion recently, and I need to re-engage with that because I have some ideas on some like we'll still have the main branch, but for like the Pi, we should maybe have it on some kind of release branch. But let's see, like but is this like the same thing you're running into? Because it feels like it's the same thing. No, it's in a different place. Let's see. Wait. $20.49. Okay. No, that was when it first came up. Okay. So that's the issue you're having. Well, the good thing is, at least, I have encountered the same problem. System. And okay, that's fine. Let me try running this manually. You know what? Maybe that's the issue. It actually might not be Python. It might not actually be Python. Like this. Well, what is this? Let me see. Oh. Update logs status. Fine. Indie. Okay. You know what? Sorry, I'm just trying to think on the fly here, and I'm trying to think and nothing happens. Let's see. Oh. You know what? No? No. Yeah. Maybe that's a problem. Hold on a second. Let's see. User environment file. Okay. Um, pay no attention to this. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Yeah. Well, no, the update took longer because there was some support for the indie driver. Um, anyway, sorry. I'm looking at the horror that is happening on this left image, and I think it has now tracked into the side of the house. So I am going to stop this one, and then we will go back to the broken pie and figure out what's going on with that. So let me go look at my list of targets. Targets. What time is it? It's only 10? Jeez. Got the galaxy behind did that your thing got sometimes that like this gets stuck when I'm dismissing the thing. California Nebula. What do we want to do? I'll probably, you know what, maybe what I need to do is get this one back to the Heart Nebula. And although I said I wasn't sure if I needed to do more time on others, I definitely need to do more time on panel, what was it? Panel, is it 30? Panel 43, which has a third as many images. So maybe I'll do panel 43, and this is going to be tricky, but what I will do is manually create this mosaic. I could load it in, but because I want to do a specific panel, I need to but I have it in a CSV file, so I'll just copy that and the exact coordinates that I use. Give me a moment. This won't take too long. Famous last words. Okay, J2000 4. I have to go 4. Okay, whatever. 4x3, 50% overlap. Selected panels. 43. Why are there two J2000s? I'll click both of them just for grins. Now, the problem is, like, what gain did I run on it? I ran 110 gain, so I'm trying to match what I have. Now the problem is, so it's a 12 panel mosaic, and the total session time is the amount of time across all the panels, but I'm only doing a single panel, and I want to spend an entire hour on it. So I'm going to put down 12 hours for this. And that, what it's going to do is it's going to figure out, okay, it's 12 hours. I need to spend an hour per panel, but I'm only doing one panel, so it'll be for an hour, which is what I want. So we'll see if this actually, it should work. There's no reason it shouldn't. Yeah, so let's start that. And it's running. All right, so let's go back to the broken pie. Anybody else watching Texas Georgia game Not me, but well, well, obviously it's not me, unless I had a TV up here. My wife was watching the A&M game earlier, but it's I was just passing through trying to get my telescope set up, priorities. Um, so let's see, where are we here? Broken Pie. So, from let's see, setup system. Oh, let me we'll see. Let's see if this solves my problems. So I'm gonna go. Remember, I edited this file and I commented out a line, but that's fine. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to rerun the update script. And it says we're already up to date. Let me try update. Let me see. Let's see, what does force do? Force will, yeah, let me do force. Force. I make the file already. Hey, well, to be honest, it was Cosmic Ray had his Raspberry Pi broke, and so I thought, well, let me update mine, and mine broke as well. I mean, the Pi itself didn't break, but it why is it downloading more? I guess maybe some things got updated. So I did a force. Oh, maybe that's it. If this fixes it, I need to talk to somebody about this. Oh, by the way, so one of the things I wanted to do with this Pi 5 is, remember, I was going to create like a deluxe image. Deluxe. And I don't know. I'm tired. Sorry. I was going to make a deluxe image, and I was going to use the M2 SSD I had gotten. And I didn't have a great way of imaging it, but I ordered a little adapter, a USB adapter that I should have gotten anyway. And it'll be showing up tomorrow. So tomorrow I plan on working on this Raspberry Pi, and I'm gonna go I decided I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna install the full desktop version, ALP, Raspberry Pi, Stellarium, whatever. I'm gonna install everything I can, and because you can't really upgrade Raspberry Pis, I ended up buying the 8 gig model, the one with, is it gig? Yeah, 8 gig of RAM, and so it'll be able to handle it. But so watch, yeah. Don't update noted. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. Let's see. Update complete, allegedly. It's running now. It's running now. Cosmic Array. Yeah. Let's confirm it. And it's thinking, will it run? Yep, it's running. GF687. So let me go look at, sorry, I'm kind of bouncing around, and in case you hadn't noticed, and I'm like just trying to, what was it? It's F687. Okay, yeah, it's running the latest commit. Great. Yeah. Yes, ALP does run on Windows, and there is a, I don't remember the exact location, but there is like a link to a binary. Because otherwise, if you don't use that binary, you have to install like VS Code and some other developer type things on your Windows computer, which is fine if you're a developer, but if you're not, it's it can be kind of a pain. But yeah, so this is working. So Cosmic Ray, what I did is I just ran it again. And I just ran the update with force. I ran it with force. It knew I was serious this time. No, I figured it out. I think I know what's happening. So remember this file. Okay, remember this had this line here with the environment file. And when I went looking for that environment file, it wasn't there, but it is there now. I didn't know that necessarily ahead of time, but I was looking in the Raspberry Pi directory in the systemd, and I see that the file exists. It's in the repo. And so I'm like, why didn't it end up in that directory? And I look in the update script or the setup script, and it has logic to copy it over. What I think is happening is it's either getting partway through the script and like failing. Although the second time I ran it, it downloaded some more stuff. And I think what happens is when you run because the update script changed, or the setup script changed, I think what happened is when you run it the first time, it starts running the script, it updates the repo, but it's still running the old code, which didn't have that file, or it didn't have the logic to copy that file. So the whole thing, like all the new stuff failed. Like it all just failed. Because it had logic to copy this service file over, but not the logic to copy the end file. It had updated it, so it was there on the file system. So when I looked at it, I'm like, the script is there to copy it into the right place. I think this is what's happening. And so it's updating the repo, but with the old logic, and so it's not detecting, the script itself isn't detecting that it updated, and so it runs through the old logic that missed some steps, but those steps were necessary for it to work. Anyway, I think that's what's happening. So the secret is to rerun the update with force, because the update itself, when I try to just rerun it, like here, it refuses to run because it's like, oh, you're already up to date, because it's just looking at like the version. Yeah, see, look, I tried to run it and it said, you're up to date, because the file system was up to date. I mean, the checked out version of the code was up to date. It's just, it hadn't run the new logic in the setup script, in the update script, which is actually calling the setup script. So it's really in the setup script. It wasn't running the new logic. So it was missing stuff, and then it wouldn't start. I think that's what's happening. Pretty sure. Yeah, Houston Magic, not quite. But yes, well, Well, no, you have to run it twice because I ran it twice. I ran the update. The first update failed. Like it does some of the stuff and it fails. And then I ran it a second time with a force. And then it reran the script with the new logic and it worked. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. It's, anyway, sorry about that. But the good thing is I have a bug to report. I have a bug to report. Let me, hold on. Sorry, I'm just messaging. Anyway, yeah, so you have to run update twice, at least until this gets fixed, which will hopefully be soon. Although at this hour, 10 p.m. on a 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday, it might not be fixed till tomorrow, but never know. Anyway, but yeah, that's the problem. Pretty sure that's a problem. And yeah, I was able to fix it. And so, yeah, it's, now one of the things that came out of this update is it now has INDI support. So I was actually kind of curious about this. Sorry. INDI service. Okay. I don't know enough about what all this is doing. Actually, there was a README. The README was updated, so I'm going to leave this up. I want to quickly look at the screens here to see what's going on with the imaging. And let me go to live view here. So this is looking good. This should be fine. Oh, and I was just thinking, oh man, I can't look at both of these these Alp controllers because of the 6 connection limit. And I'm like, but they're running on 2 different machines, so that shouldn't apply. So we have this running here. And let's look at the README. Under Raspberry Pi, README. So there's some new, just, I have a hard time telling if I'm like off camera, like leaning too far over. Okay, updating, checking logs, service status. Okay, Stellarium control by INDI. This is, I always try to highlight new things and I almost forgot to highlight this. So Stellarium may be used to control the Seestar by using the IND proxy serving running on the Pi. Similar to the Seestar service, this service is architected, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Okay. Stellarium configuration. Okay, so let's try this. Let us try this. We have Stellarium running. And we'll see what happens with this. This is going to be fun. This is going to be an experiment. And I think I've mentioned this before, and it's come up in questions that you can control, that we can pull the coordinates out of Stellarium into ALP And if you run on Windows and you're running, I think if you're running on Windows and everything's, does it have to be local? Maybe it doesn't have to be local, but you can install this ASCOM ALP alpaca driver and then point it at ALP and you can do stuff. But this was always a problem with if you're not running Windows, but there's this other INDI driver or this other standard INDI, which is what some of the non-Windows Linux type things. Yes, I'm running Stellarium on my Mac, not currently. But once I get that SSD writer, I plan on running Stellarium. I plan on installing it on the Raspberry Pi as well. But for now, it's only on my Mac. So on this wiki page, starting with step 2, go to telescope control plugin. Plugins. So the gear plugins. And let's go telescope control and configure and add a telescope. So let's see. You'd have to, I think it's like sudo app install. Is it Stellarium? Let me not install it, but let me see if it's there. Yeah, it would be like sudo app install, or like there's a GUI too, but like that would be one way to run it, to do it. So like sudo app, but I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you have the full version of PiOS installed, because otherwise, like the desktop version, if you're running the light version, it's gonna want to install like a zillion things. Yeah, 106 new packages, and it's gonna use half a gig. So yeah, because it has to install all the GUI libraries that aren't installed. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, Pi 4. Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on redoing my Pi 5 with the NVMe. So let's see. It says, what is the one difference? With one mount under INDI settings in the configure, you'll need to change the host. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, because it's like you're not running it locally. Fine. So let me go INDI Indigo. We'll call it Seestar ALP or Seestar. Yeah, I'll just call it Seestar. Yeah, we'll see how this works. J2000. Oh, okay, cool. Wait, where's the host? Okay, the host is going to be alp.local, which is the name. I have named it. Oh, click connect. Oh. Doesn't help that I've resized this to be so small. Okay. So, where's connect? Oh, did I? Wait, where's the... Oh, no, sorry. Refresh devices. So alp.local. Oh, look at this. I've got them. I'll start with A. And then click connect, it says. Let's see. Select and then click connect. Was there a connect? Or do I just go okay? Oh, connect. Connected. Okay. Let us see. Let us see how this works. Oh yeah. Looky that. Look at that. Let me go fix this. Configuration. Telescope control. Edited this. Seestar. It's actually Seestar A. So I'm going to change this to Seestar A. And okay. And then I'm going to add another one. Indigo. Seestar B. Connect at startup. No, I'm not going to do that. It's the right place. Change to Seestar B. Oh, field of view interfaces. Circle size. Well, I'll do that in a sec. Okay. Connect. Connect. Okay, Seestar A is pointing there. It's pointing, remember I said it's one of the panels? That's where it's pointing. Okay, and then the other one is up here. Okay. Nice. Like people have been able to do this with Windows, but not with and so this is so this is imaging the oops, Kuttner's cloud. What in the world? It's now imaging the Ghost of Cassiopeia. Nice. So what I need to do now is increase the, oh nice, full install. You have a laptop, use Stellarium on a laptop. Yeah, get myself a cookie. Yeah, I'm happy about that because like it wasn't like really, it was more difficult before. And like it was relatively simple if you had Windows, but if you didn't, it was a royal pain. So, and I never got it working, and I didn't try that much on it, but yeah, I didn't try that much, but so let me go figure out, and you can even control it. I can control it now through here, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. But what I want to do is the field size. What do you call it? Stellarium telescope control field size. 6700. Are you trying to do Stellarium? Or I mean, are you trying to point it at the Raspberry Pi? Let's see, control plugin. No. Field of view. Okay. Field of view simulator. Oh no, that's not, that's on mobile. Let me go back to this. Go back to this setting. Telescope control. And gear. Okay. And use field of view indicators. Circle sizes. is it's a degree, maybe 76 minutes. I don't know what it's. Seestar A. I thought it had a, like, I don't know what the field of view is supposed to be. Field of view indicator. Did you get the but did you get the Pi running? The Raspberry Pi running? I mean, you did the update force to get it running. Let's see. Let us see. Okay, so improve field of view indicator. What does this number even mean? User interface, use field of view indicator circle sizes. What happens if I turn this off? So I was doing Seestar A, and so it's right here. But if I change this, what is this? User interface circle sizes. What does it do? Yeah, I don't understand what this does. Stellarium telescope control, field size, field of view circle size. Views circle size. Oh. Yeah, if you have, I mean, you have to have, I mean, what I did is I got the Raspberry Pi working using the update script, and it started up this INDI driver, and that INDI driver is what Stellarium's using to talk to ALP. It's kind of a little, it's an extra hop. Field of view simulator, but that's not the telescope control plugin. That's like an API. This isn't helpful. Oh. Yeah, no, that's not helping. Okay. I was hoping that I could indicate that I could have the actual field of view rectangle, you know. Although I guess I can kind of fake it by clicking on the indicator and then clicking, since I have the field of view defined, or one of the things I have defined here is for the Seestar. So this is basically what it should be imaging, that panel, the missing panel that I was trying to fix. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I did. I was just thinking that it would be possible to do it from that telescope control, but um, unless actually, sorry. Um, no, I was just wondering if it had a way of pulling it from the telescope you have defined, like the Seestar A and B, like if it would be possible to tie those together. But I already have that field of view, so that's good. At least that's something. Um, but I just realized again that my display is set to night shift. Hate that when I do that. Yeah, so that's cool. So I've got, oops, and so I can go look at this one and see, yeah, that's about what it's imaging right now. This is the center point, and that makes sense because for that like there's a few different objects in that field, so I kind of picked something in between to image. Great, this will be nice. And theoretically, we should be able to see it now when the telescopes are moving. Like I can control it from here, but when when the telescopes are moving, I can watch it. We can watch it move here on Stellarium. So nice. That is working. And I don't even need to have this web page up. I can, since I have two of them running, I can just go back to, oh, this one is, the Ghost of Cassiopeia is free, or is done. So let's go find another thing to image. And it is only 10:30. So let's look for two targets after midnight. So I'm not thrilled about that. Let me see if I can do, the Shrimp Nebula is not going to be great, but I'm going to try it anyway. Let me see, make sure it's high enough in the sky. Shrimp Nebula. Incredible Shrinking Nebula. SH2 188. Okay. So it's right there. Okay, you're gonna egg me on with this. Okay, fine. So I've got this. Wait, what just happened? Okay. Cool. So I've got this. And now how do the handy dandy README that I closed out has instructions on how to control it. So, okay. If you click on an object and then access the telecom control, you can select current object and slew. So let us try that. So current object, set control O. It's probably on Mac, it's probably command O. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Maybe configure. Wait. To slew to an object, select that object, then hold down command and press the key with the telescope's number. Okay. 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 So we want to go with telescope 2. I can see this being dangerous if I'm doing it with both objects. So let's see what this does. Command 2. Oh, look at that. Stellarium target. And it's trying to figure out where it is. And the live view hasn't updated yet, but it yeah, it should be, yeah, this is the target. Now, the only difficulty is right now, let's see, the light pollution filter might not be engaged. So let me make sure the light pollution filter is on. And just for grins, I'll just start imaging it directly. Now, we should probably put a toggle on the screen at some point to toggle on and off the light pollution filter. But I'm gonna go ahead and record. Although it's stellarium target, may need to work on that. I had opened this candy bar. I think I'm going to eat it. Let me actually try muting the audio to try to not make odd noises. But so this should be starting to image. I think it's starting to image. So let me mute this real quick. Well, it's definitely imaging something. Yeah, this will be handy. I just need to figure out how to name the object correctly. But it'll be handy when, like in the case of the double cluster here, like if I want to, wait, this isn't the one. Yeah. No, this isn't the one. It's this double cluster. Basically, you have these two clusters, and you can't plug in either name, either, NGC object, because it'll be centered wrong. But this way, if I like pick a star and then I could have it just stellarium tell the Seestar to go to those coordinates, and that will, yeah, that's interesting. Could be handy also for, yeah, a few different things. Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, no, we're up here. Nice. Well, that particular thing is a brand new feature. So, or I shouldn't say brand new. that integration existed before, but it required Raspberry Pi and Docker, and it was just very recently, in the last couple days, made to run just on the Pi without needing Docker. So, yeah. No, cool. Cool. I'm going to take another bite of the thing. This one, this Heart Nebula panel is going to go for another 20 minutes. So, and then that one will free up, and we'll also see how much progress this makes, because it's a fairly faint target. So and the moon is up, or not just up, but I mean, look at the sky. It's like, oh, and this is earlier. Yeah. I mean, the sky is so bright. It's kind of ridiculous. But it'll be nice for some of the Able catalog. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that handy for a lot of things. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can pull coordinates into the Seestar. I mean, into ALP from Stellarium, but to be able to push and control it, and also see where the Seestars are pointed. Yeah. See, now I'm going to have all of this. I'll have the location of the Seestars, and the and then the two things I'm imaging. But cool. I'm glad I tried that out. Yeah, it'll be handy, very handy. And maybe, not having to bounce back and forth between Alp and Stellarium, you can kind of mess around with it, get everything dialed in Stellarium, and then go back into Alp. Yeah, one thing I have here is so I have it where I have the field of view for the Seestar, but some people run EQ mode, and eventually I will too. So I also have like an EQ, although that might not be right. It might be this. I forget. Whatever. Anyway, so that way I can look at the framing both ways. Hello, Jay Kelly. Yeah, I can so what I do, so I set it up in here. I have it set to 250 millimeter. Yeah, I hate that when it does that. 250 millimeter focal length, 50 millimeter aperture, and then the sensor is an IMX 426 which is that's actually flipped technically. It's the X I think is 1080, but I mean, and it is 5.57 millimeter and 3.13. 5.57 millimeter, 3.13. And those are, and that's what I do, or that's what I set up. And it seems to be right. Yep, no problem. Yeah. It's like I say, it appears to be right. I kind of hunted down those settings and found them somewhere, and they seem to be right. But yeah. Well, we'll see how stable this is, but I know at one point, and maybe it was specific to the ASCOM driver, like I know some people were running an older version of Stellarium, and maybe that got fixed, but I'm running, I think, a relatively recent version of Stellarium, and so far seems to be okay. That shrimp is very faint. This will probably take a lot of data to get anything reasonable. I was just checking to see if I have free space, if I, or if the copy I had kicked off had finished. I sure hope it'll work north of the Mason-Dixon line. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Cool. Well, okay. All right. If this succeeds, I will be able to free up a few hundred gig of space on the SSD, and I can actually run those, try out that serial stuff I wanted to do. Especially, again, I'm curious to see if I have enough data really for the Heart Nebula. And it's got 245 more frames, which is more than it had gotten over 2 imaging sessions previously. So, let's see. Let us see. Yeah, all these things from like December and January that I had already copied off, and some I had. I don't know where there might be copies, but I'm just going ahead. I went ahead and copied it all. Yeah, whole bunch of stuff that looking forward to imaging again in the yeah, I see some of the Rosette Nebula stuff I did. Great, I got space. Yeah, I how did I set the exposure and time? I didn't. That's the main thing. And the other big problem is like it just gave a generic name Stellarium target. Um yeah, so I think um yeah, there's room for improvement there. So I need to, you know, cuz I ideally, and I don't know if it's a limitation of the drivers or, you know, if the information's not getting passed through correctly, because I mean, I did click on a specific target, but then again, you should be able to edit the target and um, start imaging and also be able to change the gain. But unfortunately, yeah, okay, did a fresh install and came back. Yeah, didn't know about the force. Yeah, I've never used the force option. I've seen it mentioned, which is the only reason I knew to look for it. And even then I double checked to make sure that I wasn't misremembering. Um, but yeah, that was a new one on me. Yeah, it's unfortunately saving it as Stellarium target. Um, let me go look to the um, let me see. Where's the pie? Where's the pie? Am I on the pie? I'm on the pie. And this is Seestar B. I went ahead and mounted on the Raspberry Pi. So it is. Yeah, see it named it Stellarium target. I mean, there is an API. I believe there's an API call to change the name of it. So, I mean, really, like this record button, maybe that's like right now it just kicks off a recording session. Maybe what that should do is prompt, like do a pop up and say, okay, what do you want to call this in case you want to override the name? Do you, you know, set the exposure and the time, and then it just starts the imaging. So like kind of another way of triggering an imaging session. And actually, let me write that down because that feels like an idea that we should explore. Record button dialogue. That's weird. Huh. That's peculiar. Huh. Hold on. Sorry, I'm okay. Yeah, I was just Twitch was acting up. I mean, the problem is with plate solving is if there's multiple targets in the field, um, like which one would it pick? I mean, we could do that, and maybe, yeah, I need to see or ask if anybody else has noticed if this Stellarium target is something where something isn't being mapped through correctly that we could possibly change, or what, you know, like maybe it's coming down, like the target that you clicked on isn't propagating through. Um, Well, and then the problem with, yeah, you could trigger a plate solve, even if you're not stacking, I think. Yeah, you can, because that's how it figures out where it is. It's plate solving as it goes along. So there could be something in there. We just need to kind of figure it out. I mean, like this was just very recently done, and before I don't think anybody really, or almost no one did anything with the INDI driver, the Indy driver, because it was kind of in a bad state, and the person who did it originally had kind of moved on to some other things, and they weren't using it. And so it was only recently, I don't know if someone asked, if it was possible, because there were mentions of it, or maybe they were just asking because of the ASCOM stuff. But it feels like something we need to look into more. Because, yeah, I mean, it's fine that I did this one thing as Stellarium target, but that would be a problem if I do more than one image in a session. Or at all. Like, just like I have all these things that are sometimes unknown, dumped in the unknown folder because the Seestar didn't know where it was. Okay, so I freed up a few hundred gig. So let me actually try to get things copied over, and maybe I can actually process some of stuff. Let's see, astro photos, and where did I store this? Okay. 19. Okay, cool. This is where I want to be. Astro photos, heart nebula. Okay. Okay. Hopefully this will be a lot faster. And then the other thing I want to do is grab the Ghost of Cassiopeia stuff that I've been collecting and see if I can process that. Or not if I can process it, but what will it look like if I do process it? Okay. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Darn it. Okay. I need to copy all the subframes. That's what I need to do. So, okay. It's got 1,400 subframes, almost 1,500. So I've already collected 1486. Yeah, over 4 hours of data on that. So as soon as I get that downloaded, I will start processing stuff. Okay. Yeah, I believe it would show up in K-stars. Oh, hello. Hi Django. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Yeah, theoretically you should be able to do that. Because I mean, it's just using the Indy. I mean, it's not, I believe it's not a comprehensive interface. Like it doesn't implement everything, but it does expose an Indy driver that whatever things that can use Indy driver should be able to leverage it. So if Nina can support indie drivers, I would guess. Man, that shrimp is pretty noisy. I mean, I am in a Portal 9, so, and the moon's up. Okay, so, cool. Okay, so that is, all right. So I think, is it still copying? Okay. Actually, I can go ahead and bring up Cyril because I want to do that. I want to check that that one panel. And did I figure it was 3.2? The 3.2 panel I wanted to check? Let us see. Actually, let me change the directory, the home directory for Cyril. Man, that like so massively glitches sometimes, the GUI on maybe it's because I'm on a Mac. Maybe it's because I'm running the development version. Wait, what? Was this already done? Wow, already ran for an hour? Well, that's cool. Okay, so, all right, Heart Nebula, and let me just double check what panels I wanted to look at. It was it panel 3.2? I think it was 3.2. Oops. And I'm just going to do a quick process of it. I'm not going to do anything like really. Was it 3.2 or 3.2 or was it 3.3? 3.2 or 3.1? That is the question. 3.2 or 3.1 panel. And then I'm going to have to do something with this telescope. Okay, that's the 3.2 panel, which is kind of eh. But 3.3 or 3.2 is, yeah, we'll do 3.2. Okay, fine. So let me get panel 3.2. Oh, and I've got to have to create the lights directory. Oops. Panel 3.2. Okay, lights move. Okay, much faster. That'll be better. Okay, great. So let's bring up Stellarium. And it's already pointing at panel 32. And so I'm just going to kick off the normal processing script. There's 680 some frames in here. I don't know how well aligned they are, so I'm just going to kick that off and we'll just see. We will see what it does. Meanwhile, I got to figure out what this, actually, what is going on here? How's this? Okay, moon isn't totally blinding it yet. So, yeah. Yeah, midnight sun not helping. Oh, 34? No, I think it was 32. Well, there was this 43 was the one that was badly, it was lacking of lot. It didn't have much data. But what I'm trying to do is stack one of the panels that has the maximum amount of data, or the most data any of the panels have is on the order of about 500 frames. And there's a few panels with that much data. And so I was just trying to see if 500 is enough. And if it's not, I need to keep doing full mosaics. If it is enough for what I'm going for, I'll just focus on the other panels that are kind of light on data. 43 was the worst one, but there's some others that could probably use a half hour or more on each. So let's see what this is. And like I say, I'm not doing anything too drastic with this one. I'm just going to and I'm not processing per day. They were done over multiple days, so the gradients are probably lousy, and so I'm just trying to get a rough idea of how bright the data is. Meanwhile, it's okay. How much did it stack? 450. So actually that's not bad. It was like 488, so it stacked 450 of them. So still well over an hour of data. Yeah. I mean, it probably won't be enough, but at least I want to get an idea of what I'm up against. Oh my God, it's out of stretch. Yeah, I probably need to get a lot more data then. I mean, the auto stretch is fine, but yeah. Oh, wait. What I want to do is, let me just process it. See what this isn't necessarily the ideal image, the ideal script. I should really run it through Graxpert first before processing this, but I'm just kind of being not quite lazy, but just trying to get it in some place to be able to view it. Running StarNet. Okay, so let us see what we can see. And sometimes the Astro Barbecue script, when I run it on data like this, does well, and other times it just kind of like, and this was one of those times. Whoa, what happened? Yikes. Never mind. Man, that was pretty severe. Anyway, it's fine. Oops. But at least it kind of gives me an idea of how much more data I need, which is a lot. So I'm not doing it tonight, but I'm probably going to have more observing sessions with and without streaming, and I'm going to try to just do more of the Heart Nebula on every single time I have an opportunity, because I think I'm just going to need a lot more on this. Yeah. It's I mean, this is the beta, so things are a little, sometimes menus are a little not what I'm used to. Duh, it was the first thing. So like that should be just kind of, yeah, that's, let's see. Yeah, so yeah, I need more data. I mean, I suspected as much, but at least I now know. So while I'm also at it, let me go back to the Ghost of Cassiopeia. And I need to move the directories, or move the directories, move the files. Okay. And we'll go with this directory. And once it's done, oh, good night, Mr. Django. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Let us see. Okay. So this is ready. I'm now gonna run the same script on all my Ghost of Cassiopeia data. Now that stuff is definitely kind of, the alignment is a little janky on some of them, and there's a lot more data. There's 1,400 frames, 1,500 frames on it. Yeah. So let me switch to this. I need to find another target for this telescope. Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple of things that I was thinking I'll do after midnight. Or after a certain time. Let me see what that time is. I have I see. Sometimes it doesn't, I click on the window and it still won't do the focus correctly. Oh, that's not even the right time. Okay. So it is 11:12. In an hour, it will definitely be visible. Oh, and it's going to be really close to the moon. Oh, that'll be a nice stress test of the light pollution filter. But that won't be till like midnight. And I think the spider and fly is similar. 1931. Yeah, actually that one's not. Wait, I'm not even on the right object. Spider. Oh, wait, is that already visible? No, not quite. So this will be visible. Yeah, around midnight. So that's fine. Hello, Hein. Yeah, you didn't completely miss the live stream. It's still going. Welcome to the stream. Now, if you're saying you missed the notifications, that seems to have happened to others as well. Okay, play. Okay, so any suggestions on targets? Because although I could do the helix, feel like I've done that a lot. Oh, is the California nebula up? Is it up yet? And specifically IC 2005. Yes, it is up. Maybe I'll try that. Let me try that. IC 2005. And again, it's going to be kind of a stress test because with the moon not too far out of the field of view, let's do 45 minutes. We'll do 150 with the light pollution filter. Actually, let me check. I want to check the current conditions here to see if it's cooled off at all or enough where I would want to rerun. Nah, not really. So let me go ahead and I mean, there was a way to image there was a way to basically tell ALP to not move the telescope. The problem is all the other, like if you enter coordinates here, it'll just go to those coordinates. But let's see. Let's try. Let's see if we can do this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, what was it? I'm going to do, it's telescope 1. So I'm going to do command 1, which should cause it, one of the telescopes. Yeah, look, watch it coming down. Look at that. Nice. Okay, cool. So that is figuring out. Let's go to the live view and see what it's doing here. So it should, it will be on the right target. Now, if I go into image a target or into the imaging screen and I tell it, let me see if it still has that logic. Because I think it was like, I mean, the problem is it was like if you entered -1 as the, at least at one point, if you entered -1 and -1, it would not move to the target. But I don't see any mention of that. Let's see, it was in, let's see, just trying to remember where some of this stuff might be, because it's not necessarily stuff that I've really touched. Okay, no results. Sorry. Like there, again, there was a way where if you didn't specify the coordinates, it would just not move to those coordinates. Okay. Oh no, no. Here. Yeah. If the center right ascension is -1 and the center declination is -1, it uses the current coordinates. So, yeah, it is pretty bad. But yeah, thanks for joining, Cosmic Ray. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So it knows where it's pointing. And basically, I mean, it doesn't. So if I go into image and if I enter, what is it? IC 2005, and I'll enter -1 and -1. And I'll say 45 minutes, 150 with a light pollution filter. Let's see if this works. -1, -1. It says it's running. Let's see what the back end is doing. Oh, so close. So close. What is it doing? No. Let's see. Now we can at least check with Stellarium to see where the heck it's going. Where is it? Where did it go? No. No. It vanished. It's over here. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. It is going to be so confused. Let me stop this. Yeah. Let me see. It's at -1. Yeah, I don't know. I think I need to look at that further. So see, this is where it plate solved before it went off on some random coordinate. But what is... And see, look, it says target RA deck. So it knew that was the RA deck. But then when I went -1, -1, it just... Let's see, is there an RA deck in here? No. Maybe that functionality got broken. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look at that. Because theoretically it should have worked, but in practice it was not happy. So I'll clear that. Image, IC 2005, search, 45 minutes, 150, light pollution, go, start. And then I should be able to watch here as it tries to come back. Yeah. Wait, where is it going? Okay, now it's kind of... This is kind of fun. I'm going to enjoy this, watching it kind of, you know, moving to where... Yeah, and it's supposed to be over here. And there it goes. That's fun. I think I might end up finding this kind of addictive, watching it. Yeah. I mean, potentially that would be a workaround if we could enter like it used to be, you could enter -1, -1, and it would just use the current coordinates. It wouldn't try to go anywhere. But somehow it's interpreting it, and so it's doing something. So we just need to figure out why it's doing that, or have some option for, or like I was saying, have maybe not an imaging thing, but when you go record on live view, it'll pop up a dialog and ask for like the target name and gain and stuff. Although people may not want to get to it through live view, so probably need to have... I mean, a lot of these screens are modular, and they have they're templates, and so we can use the same thing in multiple places. So, yeah. Okay, so this is imaging. Go live. And nice. Yeah, this shrimp. Wait, did I give it an hour? I must have. I mean, this is encouraging. It's actually like starting to show the shrimp. I mean, this is massive artifacts, but it would clean up. Okay, so this got 1,357 out of 1,400 and change. Okay, that's not bad. So I was kind of curious what the ghost of Cassiopeia, and man, even that star is so bright. Oh, nice. That isn't too bad. I mean, I'm just using like the default stretch, so that's not too bad. Now, unfortunately, I may need to look at the data because there was some more nebulosity here, and the framing it picked ended up, maybe I need to do kind of a maximal stack where it doesn't just do kind of, yeah, the minimal stack. But still, that's not too bad. I mean, considering it's the ghost and it's got that really bright star, it's yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. I just hit record. Yeah, that's fine. I'll stop it I'll stop it soon. I mean, it's still going, so the shrimp, the prawn, whatever. All depends on your frame of reference, I guess. Yeah. So that is making progress. What other things can I try to do tonight? I know I need to get more data of the Heart Nebula. I need to do more, yeah, definitely more of the Heart Nebula. I need to work more on the Ghost of Cassiopeia. Just more of everything, just because the skies are so bad. And it won't be too long, and the moon will rise over the building. When did it rise yesterday? It rose about, started, oh, okay, it wasn't until 11 that it started kind of going into the frame, so it'll be a little later today, but yeah, fun. What else? Yeah, so I'm pretty happy that the indie stuff is working, because at least being able to monitor the Seestars is kind of cool. Seeing where they are currently pointed. Now, of course, the next hurdle will be once we start getting remote functionality, like being able to have it Yeah, I have to think about that. Yeah, that would be doable. I mean, actually, it's already doable. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, I could do the bottom of the California Nebula. Maybe I'll do that with this one once it's done, or once I'm done with it. But what was I gonna? Oh yeah, so let me go. Let's go Stellarium and telescope control and oops, did not mean to do that. ALP.local. I don't want to do that. I want to use this IP address instead. 26. Yep. Okay. Oh wait, let me refresh devices. A. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. And come on. Do this IP address. Refresh. A. Okay. Connect. Okay. Now it is actually, yeah. Now it's actually using, almost knocked over my assistant. I need to still name it. I need to create maybe I'll create a poll on YouTube. What should my assistant be named? Or my sidekick? Yeah. What I configured it, it's using a VPN IP address. So even though it's on my local network, it's using a VPN IP. And so really, this thing here could be anywhere. I mean, these telescopes could be anywhere, really. So yeah, I need to work on that more because I just feel like there's a lot of potential there. Yeah, I almost need to do more than just a simple mosaic because since it's kind of because of the alignment, but I could definitely do a second frame on this one. Let me go ahead and stop this one and start over. I mean, this one's, yeah, it's pretty good. It's been going almost an hour and has 261 frames. So I'll do that. I'll stop. And what I'm going to do is I will go like maybe this and let's go ahead and let's see if this if this works. I typed the key sequence, so supposedly it should start. Where is it? Where is telescope B? Where did I have B? I was pointing somewhere up here. Is it even, maybe I got a little premature. Let me look at, oh, it's disconnected. That's why. Okay, let's move it to there. And it should start moving. Wait a second. Does say it's connected. Oh, I totally missed. But wait, where's telescope A? Is there a problem with what I just did with the IP addresses? Now it says they're both connected. Oh, this is done. I'm confused. Did I not image that for very long? Let me go to live view on this one and see what this is doing. Functions, commands. Make sure I'm on the light pollution filter. And let's see, what is it? Commands, settings. Light duration min. That doesn't look right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of weird. I think I need to experiment around with that more because I definitely hit telescope 2 and that's this one here. I shouldn't have done anything with this one. Yeah. Weird. Well, there's one way to find out. Let me go ahead and start imaging this one. Nope, sorry. Go to live view and start imaging this one. And so this one. And so if I go to Stellarium, configuration, unless I mess something up. So this is, it's quite possible. So this is telescope, it should be telescope A, and it's pointing at telescope A, and now it's connected. And telescope B is also pointing at telescope A. That's the problem. That would do it. Oops. I configured, when I reconfigured it with, when I reconfigured it to use that IP instead of the host name, I accidentally ended up pointing both the label Seestar A and the label Seestar B at the same telescope. That's fine. So now, where is actually Seestar B? Seestar B is still up here. It's still pointing at the shrimp. That doesn't, because when I clicked on the coordinate, it ended up basically stopping the recording for Seestar A and sliding it down a little bit on the nebula. And so now this recording here on the Seestar B telescope, I'm imaging more on the shrimp. So I'm just going to stop this. I think for the California Nebula, I'm going to have to do a proper mosaic of that. I think I'm making it worse right now. So I'm going to stop this. Yeah. Yeah, Stellarium Federation. Yeah, it's yeah, I think before too long it's just going to be very confusing for everybody. But no, it'll be either very powerful and or very confusing. So yeah, I'm happy with Ghost of Cassiopeia. So let us go to, let me figure out, let's start over. Let's start from scratch. What do I want to image? And I really can't use the click to target in Stellarium right now until I sort out how I name the targets. Let's see. Bodes. Where's the tadpoles? But yeah, the good thing is, even in spite of the confusion, okay, the tadpoles will be rising soon. And I see 417 will be rising soon-ish. Well, no, I mean, I think the labeling, we still need to figure out the labeling. But yeah, as far as confusing and labeling one Seestar A and one Seestar B, that's like more of a me problem. But the cool thing is, both of them are now connected over VPN. So really, those telescopes could be anywhere, and you can see where they're pointing in Stellarium semi-real time. So that's also cool. Like, that'll be good for bigger federations and yeah. So all these I turned on a bunch of catalogs and now I've got all these Bernard objects all over here. Fossil footprint. I feel like that one's kind of a dim one. Tribble Nebula. What is the Tribble Nebula? That looks kind of small. Yeah, that's small. Oh no. Wait, there's two Tribble Nebulas? What? Huh? Huh? I'm confused. Tribble Nebula. Now I've got to look that up. Trouble with tribbles. And it's from Star Trek. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because of the trouble with tribbles. Yeah. I remember that episode. I mean, not when it first came out. But I remember watching it in syndication. Yeah, so the Tribble Nebula. What do you know? So there are two tribbles. What is this one? It's all these interesting. This second closest planetary nebula. I'm guessing it's the second closest planetary nebula. This feels like it's so close. But I have a feeling that's, yeah, the flaming star. But this boundary isn't accurate, so who knows when it'll rise. Might be another half hour. Yeah, the moon is kind of, oh, the Pleiades? Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Like, look at how close it is to the moon. That's pretty tough. Yeah, the problem is some of the targets I want to image are like right there by the moon. So I might actually, it's before midnight. I don't know if I'm gonna like call it a night. I might, just because like a lot of these targets are just Bond's galaxy. Well, that's a interesting little galaxy. But yeah, I think I might have to just call it a night. Just because the conditions seem to be challenging, and a lot of the objects I want to get, a lot of the objects I want to image are right next to the moon. Like, and it's almost full, so yeah, I might call it a night. It's I thought it's just the moon. If it weren't for the moon, I would have kept going, but yeah, I'm not going to do necessarily a Sunday night. I might do a Monday night if Monday's clear, which it's looking okay. And otherwise, remember I mentioned we're going into drought conditions. It looks like there will be opportunities, more observing opportunities in the upcoming week, which is great. Bad for our lawn, but good for science. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's the moon's just interfering too much, and yeah, and I think it's just going to be continue to be a struggle tonight. So thanks everybody for watching tonight, and I will thanks Art Morton. I don't know if I saw you earlier, but thanks for joining. Like I say, I'll do probably another, if it ends up being clear, I might do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday live stream. Like not every day, but I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that the conditions are good. And yeah, I might even move the live stream earlier even. I don't know. I'll play around with it. I might try starting at like 7:45 even, because the sun is setting at like 6:45 now. So just get it even earlier. And yeah, next time I will have rebuilt the Raspberry Pi 5 here with the full ALP software, with a full Raspberry Pi OS, and I'm gonna like do the works on it. I'm gonna install the desktop version. I'm gonna install a bunch of things. I have a list, and I might even, instead of sharing my Mac on screen, I might even use the Raspberry Pi as the browser. We'll see if it's up for the speed, if it's up to it, but in the meantime, thanks everybody for joining, and have a good rest of your evening. Good night.